All right, Jason, we're talking mindset, and this was surprisingly one of the number one topics that the docs in our Smart Chiropractor group requested that we speak about this year. And last week, we've talked a bit about sort of setting the stage for this year. We're in the beginning of the year. It's a great time to kind of take inventory, get your mindset right, work on it. And I thought a great piece to talk on today would be around the concept of be, do, have. This is something I know you've studied a lot about, spoken a lot about, and I'd love to have you just kick us off with, when I say be, do, have, what do I mean? Set a little context, and then we can talk down exactly how docs can implement this upstairs for their own betterment this year.
It is such an important question. I've had the privilege of working with some of the smartest, best personal growth and development coaches, managers, individuals, those in the profession, those outside of the profession. Personal performance, human success, how to live your best life has been something that I've been studying personally since my early teens. And for the most part, I don't know why everybody's not studying this. How to enjoy your life, how to be successful and define success for yourself is, to me, probably the most important topic you could ever study and want to learn more about. And these three words really do, oversimplify and yet simplify the totality of sort of the bigness of this idea. And be, do, have is the correct order, which is opposite from the way most people in the world have learned about life, success, call it achievement, call it what you want. And so the way most people think about it simply is that they go, well, when I have blank, when I have the number of people I want to see in my practice, when I have the perfect spouse, when I have the perfect job, when I have the perfect income, revenue, when I have my bills paid off, when I have my loans paid off, when I have this, then I will be successful. Then I will be happy. Then I will be generous. When I have, then I will be. And that is exactly opposite that just about every success guru throughout history will teach you. Because the simple reason and sort of explanation for it is that you could have 10 people do, right? That's the operative word in between, do the exact same things and get 10 different outcomes. And so the idea that if I do this, then I will be successful once I have these outcomes is backwards, because it's not primarily about the doing. Okay. So these are subtle, nuanced conversations, because of course you got to do something, right? Success doesn't happen without action. We talk about that all the time. But the reverse cause and effect is understanding that certain types of outcomes happen to certain types of people. And I don't just mean certain types of people in terms of who they are. I mean certain types of people in terms of how they're showing up. So it's not just prejudice to, well, if you're this color or that color, this race or that race or whatever, but it's how you show up. Am I showing up with full effort? Am I showing up with sincere kindness? Am I showing up with generosity in my heart? And doing things with that spirit, that will create, then you will have a different outcome than if you show up frustrated, resentful, entitled, exhausted. There's just different ways in which people show up when they do these things. And so, the main thing to really sort of start off with, the main learning lesson is understanding the simple saying that who I am determines how well what I do works. And again, that doesn't mean who you are as in, well, I was born this way. It means who I am showing up as. What spirit am I showing up with? What intention am I showing up with? Am I showing up in my practice to get as much as I can out of the insurance companies and out of each every patient, and get as many referrals, get as much money, get as much out of your staff? Or are you showing up with a spirit of generosity and giving? I'm here to share and give as much information as I possibly can. I'm here to share and be here to serve as many people as I possibly can. I'm here to help share and serve my team and my staff to build them up so that they can be the best versions of themselves, knowing that it's in my best interest if my team shows up with as much growth and positive attitude and energy as they possibly can, and spreading that, and so on and so on. So that really is one of the most important topics. It's super simple. You really kind of can't forget it. Be, do, have is the way to go. Don't confuse it with have, do, be. When I have this, then I'll do these things, and then I'll be successful. So play with that, everyone, for a little while. Try to, figure out. I know people are going to want to challenge it because it seems so natural. When I have the lottery winnings in my account, then I will be nice and do those things that I should be doing, and then I will be successful. And if you look at history and you look at examples, it just doesn't seem to work that way. What comes up for you on that, Jeff?
Jason, you're 100% correct. This was one of those early touchstones, I want to say, when I started studying personal development years ago and really set the stage. And, for me, I think a lot of it comes down to, I think about, when I have this, I'll be happy, right? I think we all fall into sort of that trap when in reality, and when you really think about it, and if you start really observing people around you that either are successful, maybe they even do have some of those material things, you'll find that a lot of them sort of were the person without, they might not have had the items, but they were still that person. They were being, right? And then that led to the doing. Maybe that was making that extra connection, taking that extra step. Maybe it was taking a risk. Maybe it was walking away from a risk, whatever it might be. They started to do those things because they were being that person. And there's a million or many different that persons, right? And that's the beauty of it. And then you see the result, which is the have, right? Then they have either the happiness, they have the thing, they have whatever that may be. And when I started to look at that, deeper and really analyze and say, gosh, how do the loops in my own head play out? Number one, that can be a little scary at times, but number two, that's a great realization to come to and to be aware of, because the first step is just being aware of it. Once you're aware of those different loops that you have playing in your head, so to speak, or the challenges that you face with your mindset, then you can start. Nothing changes in necessarily 1 second or 1 day for many people, but it's a process and an evolution, and continuing to evolve your own thoughts, continuing to understand it more, and most importantly, having that reinforcement. That's why we lead off every one of these shows with the mindset segment, is because it's about reinforcement over time. And just like we say with marketing, consistency is the number one predictor of success. With mindset and personal development, the same things hold true. You have to fill up your tank, so to speak. And sometimes that might be rah-rah, sometimes that might be super low key, but either way, whatever resonates with you, it's about continuing to strive for a deeper understanding, continuing to try to be a little bit better each day. And then miraculously, guess what? You'll notice that you start doing those things that lead you on the path you want to get to, and you end up having, whether it is, again, material or non-material items, that start to come to fruition. And it's over the course of time, there's just no question in my mind that this is one of those universal truths, and that what you put out into the universe inevitably does come back to you in some way, shape, or form. So showing up every day and being the best chiropractor you can be, being the best clinician, being the best empathetic connector, being the best at even at times, I'm going to say, in the business and marketing of your business, is a really, really good thing, because as you start to focus, you put time, attention, effort, energy, and focus to an area, you will inevitably see that grow and flourish. So those are my big thoughts on mindset for this week. Jason, any closing thoughts on mindset?
I just think one of the most important things to do, and again, I'm so grateful that there were so many people that responded in our group with like, what, it's all great, you're giving us all this terrific marketing stuff and it's working well, but getting our heads straight is the difference. I've had money, I've not had money, and your mind is the main common denominator you've got to make sure you stay well with, because you can have all these things and still be miserable, and you can have nothing and be happy. And we've all probably had tastes of both of those. So the number one thing I think I want to recommend as we sort of close up this segment is that our minds are fertile, that they are always working, literally all, even when we're sleeping, our minds are dreaming and doing what they do. And the number one thing you can probably make sure you want to do if you're going to continue to want to go down this journey and path is to keep feeding your mind positive things. It's not an idea that you understand and then you go, got it, and then you can go back to doing whatever you do. It is a moment to moment practice. And the best way to keep getting good at this is reading or watching or listening to those things that keep you inspired. So whether it's your Bible, whether it's your favorite inspirational, motivational speaker, whether it's yourself for that matter. Sometimes you say things and you can record yourself, your positive affirmations, whatever it may be, but continually feeding your own mind positive energy, positive mindset, positive focus and outcomes really is probably the number one most important thing you can do to make sure you keep your mind and your life on the path you want it to go on.
That is right. You could say everything starts and ends with mindset because it's a continual loop, and that's how we experience what goes on around us and ultimately our entire life experience. So today's take-home message: be, do, have. Think about how you think about things. Take a moment, reflect, maybe write a few things down, and tune in next week for our next Mindset Mentor segment. Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to the Smart Chiropractor. We are posting videos on how you can market your chiropractic practice in a way that teach and invites consistently. We have found that is the magic formula to big time growth. So if you like this video, be sure to comment down below, smash that subscribe button, or visit us at thesmartchiropractor.com.